You know, that wasn't an All-Ireland winning performance.
Probably should have won the game based on their second half performance.
Is it a step too far to say it was the performance so far of the World Cup? Maybe not.
OTB AM's performance rankings with Gillette.
I'm scratching my head. That performances was just lacked that intensity.
We're breaking our own rules this time. We're going to start with the green.
Yeah, we kind of felt like we had to, Ger, because I mean, if we don't start in Argentina this morning, then there's something wrong with us. And I even I tried to make an effort with my wardrobe today to wear blue and white to some degree to in tribute to our Argentinian friends. And it was actually by accident. I was in the taxi this morning. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is a happy coincidence. But I don't really know where to start. I think we all just need to sit down and talk about it and vent and digest.
Martinez shithousery is obviously the thing that's going to last in most people's minds. But like the save, he'd had a couple of mistakes.
Yeah,
he came out and he flapped for a ball that cannoned off his right foot and went back into play when it was still 2-0, and you're like, oof. And maybe he could have a slightly stronger hand for one of the goals. But the save at the end of normal time, at the end of extra time, you're like,
Colin Moani.
He's going to be okay.
That guy's Colin Moani's going to be thinking about that for forevermore. And that's why I felt like when he was doing the shithousery during the shootout, I felt a little bit sorry for the French lads. And I wanted Argentina to win at that point. But part of me was like, Emmy, don't. Just leave
go
them
for
be.
it.
No, I do it. I think it's one of those things, if you're his teammate, you're like, yeah, brilliant. But if you're against him, you hate him.
So he got booked for the shithousery to Tchouaméni when he kicked the ball away. Martinez, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen a keeper get a second yellow card in a penalty shootout. What would have happened? One of the players would have had to go in? Or would they be allowed to make a sub? To bring a sub keeper on.
Can't make a sub, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think you can. So but I was thinking that I was like, he can just keep him going here because he knows the ref won't do it.
Stick Messi in goals,
did he actually get a yellow card? Because I
got a yellow card for the Tchouaméni
when he threw the ball away.
Yeah, when he threw the ball away, because that was so blatant.
So I didn't see the brandishing of the yellow cards.
Who was on comms? Jermaine Gina said it in BBC. Got booked. Yeah,
it was
okay. So, not a great co-com. Jermaine Genius.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He just doesn't add. I really wish I could listen to Ali McCoy, but
he's a former five-a-side teammate of mine, Jermaine. Leave him alone, please.
Oh yeah, forgot you were mates. Yeah.
Let's be easy on Jermaine. No, but Ali McCoy was brilliant. Like, he was slagging England throughout the commentary as well, and a points joking about the fact that he needed to lie down. I think we all needed to lie down. Even at the start of extra time, I was thinking, how am I going to do this for another 30 minutes? And then at the end of extra time, you're thinking, please just don't go to penalties, please continue. Just keep going until it's a golden goal or something.
The last 2 minutes of extra time was the most enjoyable watching of any football match.
Yeah, but also torturous.
It wasn't enjoyable.
It was so enjoyable.
It was too tense.
I couldn't enjoy it.
Like,
boy, did you want someone to win?
Yeah, I wanted Argentina to win. But then,
there you go then.
When Martinez, like, what? Lautaro Martinez was terrible.
Brutal. The header was
twice.
Yeah. The header was
also,
appalling.
The one where he gets caught because he's running in treacle and then almost still somehow gets the opportunity to score, and then oh my god,
well, he's
just completely shot of confidence.
Yeah, he is, but he was central to the third goal. His first touch is beautiful actually in that 1-2, and then the shot is a blistering shot, like, which Lloris could really do nothing about other than save. Like, I don't blame Lloris for parrying it out to Messi, so he was central to that goal. In fairness, he did make a contribution, but the header at the end was just the header was appalling. But you get lost in it because that was in the middle. That was the middle chance of three amazing ones where Mbappe, when he took two players out of the game, that last kick of the World Cup, I was like, he's going to score, he's going to put this into the far corner, and that would be his fourth goal of the game. Oh my god,
it was outer body experience at times.
It was, yeah. And we still haven't mentioned Argentina's second goal, which is one of the great World Cup final goals.
Yeah, it's very good.
That goal, like, by the end of the game, that Di Maria goal felt like it was in October or November.
Yeah.
I was like, what was that goal again?
Adrian Rabiot's block at 2-0. To like keep them in the game.
Upamecano's block.
Upamecano did
two. Lautaro, he played really well actually. Upamecano was one of the few highlights of
No, it was breathless, breakneck speed, brilliant. And I do feel sorry for France that they couldn't perform when it was
do you?
When it was 2-0 up, because they were shy for 70 minutes, and I like
better team won overall probably.
I was definitely wondering. I don't think this is just a virus, because they were bad in patches in all their games. Like, they were bad against the Danes for 15-20 minutes. They were terrible against England. They weren't great for ages, and so there's something not quite right. They're just not at it in every game the way they need to be and the way they could be.
Well, there's two factors you forget. Going into it, they had huge trouble in the background of the French Federation. There was Philippe Auclair was on saying like, this is not a happy camp. And secondly, they were missing several key players. So I actually think they did really, really well to get as far as they did. When you were saying that they were bad in other games, I thought they were quiet against England, for example, but I thought they were outright poor for 80 minutes of this game. Like, it was shocking to watch.
Yeah.
Well,
Dembele in the first half.
Well, it wasn't just Dembele. It was
He stood out.
There was a load of them. Well, Griezmann was terrible. Hernandez was terrible. Like
Theo Hernandez is lucky, to stay on to
But he made the two changes, 40 minutes?
40, yeah.
But even that felt like a bit late. You're like, this is...
Well, I still thought it was shocking to have two subs made tactically in the first half of World Cup
but
final. I still think
could
that's
have feasibly took Dembele off after 20 minutes, like.
Yeah, no,
I think Dembele had played so well. You're hoping that he's gonna
totally,
maybe,
totally
play himself into a bit of form.
Antonio Valencia, 2011 Champions League final, same thing. He had a great season, a terrible final, and that was striking. Resembled the same area of the pitch too, right hand side of the attack. But it was his very first touch. Dembele like fumbled it out of play, and then beaten by Di Maria, and then fouled him. And then there was another opportunity where he was skinned again, and he just looked overawed by the occasion. Giroud was just very quiet. Yeah. When you were saying Griezmann was terrible, I just thought he was ineffective, just really, really quiet, same as Mbappe. That's why I think certain players stood out, like Theo Hernandez and Ousmane Dembele stood out for being outright poor in the first 40 minutes, whereas the rest of them were just let the game go by them. But you do, at the same time, have to acknowledge how brilliant Argentina were. Like, they rose to the occasion, because the 2014 World Cup final against Germany, they didn't have a shot on target in the entire 120 minutes. And you know that was in their minds, certainly the players involved 8 years ago. Don't let this game pass you by. Can you imagine the pre-match team talk? And when they were coming out in the tunnel, I was thinking, geez, maybe Argentina do want this more. Yeah. It's hard to go again to retain it, as we've seen 1962 the last time. Can you imagine the comparison between the pre-match talk in the dressing room for France versus Argentina? Argentina was so easy. It was like, this is Messi's last chance, let's do it for him.
But before the anthems, like, you're looking at Mbappe and Messi trying to gauge who looks up for it, but they both looked completely clued in and up for it.
I thought
Calm as well.
The French anthem was spine tingling.
It was. Both of them were actually.
Yeah. But we know. But I'm saying we know Argentina because they showed it on the pitch that they were well up for it. But when you match like France's anthem and the players' passion for it and how loud it was, considering they were vastly outnumbered by the Argentinian counterparts, versus their display on the pitch.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese.
Was it that second goal? Was it the second goal, the Di Maria goal, where Martinez kicks the ball out, the ball's in the air, and you see Lionel Scaloni on the sideline really gesturing and getting the players before the ball, while the ball's still in the air, and you're like literally seconds later, Messi touches the ball on, the leads to the counter attack that ends up in the Di Maria goal. But they just seemed so up for it, Argentina.
Yeah.
And France were the complete deflation.
Yeah. The force of will. But there's so many mini narratives, like Messi gave the ball away for France's last minutes. You know, that's the one thing. And then Montiel handled it, and then in the 118th minute of the game, and he was the guy who struck the winning penalty.
They won it 3 times and then nearly lost it each time.
That's why I thought, we were saying earlier, I was chatting to Phil Egan, and I was like, I actually did fancy France in the penalties, despite the obvious stats staring at me, which is Martinez is fantastic in penalties and Lloris isn't. But I thought, like, Argentina are heartbroken here. Because like you say, Shane, they've lost it twice.
I do think, though, that Martinez's save electrified them. Like, because it's the last thing that they're going to remember, apart from...
do you think?
Apart from the return.
But the Martinez chances after that.
I know, but still, like, nobody expected him to score. They didn't.
I did. When it came in...
His teammates knew he was not scoring that. But they all knew that Emmy is the man. And so...
That would have been Troy Deeney, like... Cause it was literally
amazing.
Seconds later.
Yeah,
it was just... I didn't expect Lautaro Martinez to score either, but like, you're thinking at that moment.
I thought he was going to score. He was crucial to the third goal, lads. We're overlooking that.
Look,
He played a huge
saying
part
that,
World Cup winner.
But he was, like, that's good. I'm saying it because it's true.
Okay, whatever. He's not getting.
How smart was Martinez for the penalty, because he was way off his line when he saved it from Coleman, but he started behind the line, so he had a trailing foot just behind the line, so he was able to pounce out, which is a really clever use of it. Like, he could give a lecture on how to save penalties.
I think it's more 55-45 in any team's favour in a shootout when you have someone like Martinez. I know penalties, they're not a lottery at all, but if you have a goalkeeper like Martinez, Lloris is hardly a common penalty saver.
No,
he doesn't fit.
He dives too early.
Yeah, he does. Like, but
Martinez's confidence goes way beyond his CV, doesn't it? He just carries himself so well. Like, you're proud of him?
Absolutely. What are you? He's amazing.
Yeah, but like, there was like stats of like 10 years ago.
Beyond the CV,
like
he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League for the last 4 or 5
I know.
seasons.
I'm just saying, on paper, the teams he's played with versus the confidence of the man. It's like he carries himself like.
He used his Golden Glove as
Real Madrid and
as a phallic
He did, yeah.
symbol of dominance.
It was definitely
Marty
he didn't get banned for calling FIFA corrupt.
Yeah.
After the
Yeah,
Holland
that
game.
was
I mean,
amazing.
I think that's actually my favourite post-match interview of anybody ever.
Because he got away with it.
I realised I started the show again. No, you need to stop saying it's the greatest. That was the greatest ever post-match interview, where they're trying to bring him back to like, live in the moment of just having won the penalty shootout, like, you know, all-time great penalty shootout saver against the Dutch and the shithousery. But he's like, no, they were having none of it. I never loved anybody more than in that moment. And then just to be like, yeah, look at this, look at my giant golden glove.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, the photo with the
I had
Qatari
considered
behind him.
throwing on for the images that we have to show this morning, but I said I'll leave it out.
It's too
Everyone saw it. I'll leave it.
No, you gotta luxuriate.
Yeah.
So we're reliably informed in the YouTube comments that one of the Ireland underage keepers got sent off for coming off his line in the penalty shot. I do remember that.
Okay.
But
yeah, vaguely. Irish eyes there, yeah, commenting. Yeah, okay. It did strike me when he got booked. I was like, what's going to happen here? Because he's not going to stop doing what he does. That's his thing. Is the ref?
Yeah, but
going
when the
to
ball
send
is
him off?
kicked, one of his legs is still on the line.
No, this is on about the shithousery when he got booked.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
are you
right,
sure
right,
he got
right.
booked? I guess my point is I
went by the commentator. I didn't see the brandishing of
don't
any
see
cards.
the-
I
so,
didn't see.
yeah.
But I was 100% guaranteed the commentator said he's been booked here.
Okay, but
yeah.
you know.
I know. But sure, I'm going. But sure, that's
I
the
wanna
job
put
of
my
the
hand in the
commentators.
wound and see the-
commentator tell me I'll go by what they say.
Okay, well, you know,
Just like when I thought Madge was going to get banned for the semi-final because on ITV they said he's now banned for the semi-final because he got booked and he didn't and he wasn't.
So sometimes they make mistakes.
Sometimes they do, but I go by
I
them.
felt pretty emotional. I think I felt sorry for anyone who doesn't enjoy or like football. Yesterday when I was watching it, I was like, I can't explain this to someone who doesn't watch or like football in any sense.
I think there was enough drama in there to capture everyone's imagination.
100%.
Because it went beyond
But like
football and sport at the end.
Some of the newspapers today rightly have like Mbappe 10 out of 10, Messi 10 out of 10, Rodrigo de Paul 9 out of 10.
Mbappe 10 out of 10.
Performance-wise. No?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
World Cup final hat-trick,
I mean,
yes.
the greatest redemption of a performance I've seen, yeah.
He deserves 10. But then other ones are given 9 and 9.5.
We have Jean-Philippe Leclerc on a little bit later on. He has explained how L'Equipe do their rankings, and I can't find them this morning. I haven't looked very hard. I only looked on the phone. I haven't been on the desktop yet to be able to scooch through. But what did he get? What did they give him?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
I'm interested to see.
He does.
And what they think
Of course,
of
he deserves a 10. If a footballer ever deserved a 10,
How much?
he was the Shane Walsh of the final.
He was Shane Walsh. It was definitely Shane Walsh. It's
He
like
had
Who,
to.
Mbappe?
Yeah.
Shane Walsh was brilliant for the entire match.
Mbappe was brilliant.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't matter. Forget about the first.
Oh, he was outstanding. It kind of goes to my point. It was like, why can't he do this more often?
I
But he was absolutely. Geez, he was phenomenal at the end.
okay,
at the end.
okay. No, we're not having a bad word said against Mbappe.
We should talk about Argentina because this is green Argentina.
This is green.
We have done a lot for them.
Should we move on? I know it's.
Yeah, okay, go on. Yeah.
I know it's performance rankings, but look, we'll get back to.
Sorry,
Argentina.
what Macron? What does he get out of 10?
He's
Is it 22 out of 10?
Clown out of 10.
Why? But they were all.
Words.
They
He's
all.
the
so-
leader of the country.
P.O.,
Afterwards,
just get out of the camera and stop. Just piss off, basically.
he was like, it was him and Infantino.
No, Infantino and the Emir were like, when they were actually like bringing Messi over to the rest of them,
that
it was
was
like, would you
weird.
please
Yeah.
walk away?
Yeah.
I was actually shouting at the TV at that stage, with the two of you ever F off?
Yeah.
Just leave him. Like, he knows where to go. He sees it's where all the players are, yeah.
Lloris said in his press conference afterwards that like there wasn't much said, but the president of the republic came in and gave some strong words. So maybe it meant something to him because Mbappe seemed to be listening.
No, he was like, this is my president. I have to listen to what he
Yeah,
says.
he
but
was.
Please leave me
I-
alone.
I go with Shane.
Well,
he was looking away.
But
No eye contact being made.
three separate times.
Pat him on the back and walk away.
Well,
and
here's the thing: they met on the pitch. I'm like, well, that's a bit weird. And then they meet on the podium when he's
for the,
getting
for the top scorer.
when he's getting the golden ball,
yeah.
and then it gives them the losers medal.
Yeah.
But each time they're having a chat. Like there wasn't just it wasn't cursory.
It's because he's on camera, Macron. He knows. It's
Well,
his little
I
part
don't
of
I thought
his
Infantino
moment.
was far worse than
There's
Macron.
footage
Far worse.
of Bertie and Roy Keane at the airport.
The airport, yeah,
On the way
heading out.
out.
Well,
Yeah.
the big
It's not the same.
the big Sopranos-looking guy beside Macron was
Yeah, I don't know
was
who
the
that-
Argentinian
I-
FA
Assuming he's involved in
president.
Argentina.
The Argentinian president didn't go because he thought he'd be bad
Yeah,
luck.
he was the head of the Argentinian FA, I think. But like, he was
Peter-
he was understated. He was like, I'll just hug the lads and.
Peter English in the comments has pointed out that Martinez was booked. It shows on an app, and I've watched said app, and it says it here. Yeah, Martinez booked.
It says on
during
live
the
score,
penalties, yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay,
Right.
we'll get to the rest of them.
We're obviously coming back to the World Cup within the performance rankings as well, but we will move on to the other.
Macron is like the Irish TDs are at electric picnic when they get into the VIP area, says Miguel on our comments.
Jesus, not far wrong.
No cameras though.
No. The other green should deserve a very, very good mention. While the match was ongoing, there was a game in Croke Park as well, but the game I want to mention is Dunloy. Dunloy deserved to be in the green because what a performance from them yesterday to beat St Thomas's of Galway by 4 points in the All-Ireland Senior Club Hurling semi-final. Prior to yesterday, Dunloy had only once won at Croke Park. That was the 1996 club semi-final against Kilkenny's Glenmore. Who was their top scorer that day? Gregory O'Kane. He was the manager yesterday.
Manager, yeah.
Right.
It's all kind of come around. It's all full circle.
Missed a penalty in the first half as well. Like, it wasn't a fluke at all. And St Thomas's spent the last 10 minutes lumping the ball into the massively congested penalty area.
Yeah.
And just didn't have an answer.
It was towards the end. Like, cut it back to 2 with 6 or 7 minutes left. Dunloy get the last 3 scores. Well deserved. Like, it's not like a flash in the pan performance for Dunloy either, because
No smash and grab.
no,
Definitely not.
they were brilliant against Loughneel in the Ulster final a couple of weeks ago, and St Thomas has had the extra week, I think, to prepare for this match. So you can't blame tiredness, but St Thomas has looked the more tired of the two teams towards the end of the game as well. I mean, serious resolve. That penalty saved from Cunning, as you mentioned, Ger, and Nigel Elliott missed a gilt-edged goal chance as well just before the half-time break. So there were moments where you're thinking, is this going to be Dunloy's day, or have they missed their chance? But no, they were brilliant, and there was kind of an 90-second period, as I said, towards the end, where in the last 5 minutes they picked off those last 3 scores to really go for it. Gregory O'Kane, like, he's played in the club's 4 losing All-Ireland club finals in the 90s and early 90s, but of course in 4 weeks' time we'll have the chance to lead them out against Ballyhale Shamrocks. So a big win for Ballyhale as well against
I think
Ballygunner.
it's one of the papers this morning, one of the Irish tabloids, is pointing out that almost exactly the same moment that Messi, 35-year-old Messi, was scoring a penalty, 35-year-old TJ Reid was smashing home a penalty for Ballyhale to get revenge.
Yeah.
Qatar to Qatar is the headline on the back of the Sun. TJ Reid was in perfect sync with Lionel Messi yesterday. The two stars, both 35, dictated play and smashed home vital penalties within minutes of each other. There you go. That's it.
Class. Meant to be.
But nobody saw it.
No,
saw it.
that's the problem. And Michael Verney rightly pointing out on Twitter yesterday, Joey Holden was so good that Ballygunner had to move Desi Hutchinson off him. Like, he was just imperious for Ballyhale yesterday, was Joey Holden. So that final in 4 weeks' time in Croker is going to be brilliant. And Dunloy have a chance. Look, Ballyhale beat all round them, but I certainly wouldn't rule out Dunloy.
Ballyhale have led everybody into every game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, so Naas had a run on them, Kilmacud had a run on them, and obviously everybody expected yesterday that they were going to have it put up to them by Ballygunner, but so Dunloy have a chance.
And the thing is that, and Gregory O'Kane mentioned this after the match as well, lads, that Dunloy's forward line has some serious lightning pace, and that's why he felt Croke Park suited them. And of course it will be Croke Park again in the final. So look, Ballyhale will do their best to nullify that threat, but yeah, certainly that Dunloy forward line and the pace they have could certainly lead to some problems for Ballyhale. So that's a cracking final in 4 weeks' time. That's the other green. This morning we will move on to the amber. Look, we're putting France in the amber. I think deservedly so. Like, they were, yes, shite for the first, how many minutes are we going to say?
80.
80 minutes?
It was 79th minute was the penalty.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, we'll go with 80. But Mbappe, as we said, the Shane Walsh of the final, came up with the hat-trick, came up with the goods. The 2 penalties were just cool as you like, and then the 3rd penalty, of course, in the shootout. Rightly stepping up first in the shootout, unlike Neymar. So didn't.
In fairness, it was interesting, wasn't it, that they both stepped up straight away.
It had to be done.
Also, Messi's penalty shootout penalty. What?
Oh,
So
my
relaxed.
God.
Like,
Just trickled in, by the way.
it did. Like, there was enough time for Lloris to go, maybe if I just turn around here, I might be able to.
Nearly enough time. Yeah.
I think Lloris was thrown by how outrageous the penalty was, wasn't he? Because he stumbled a bit. He was like, what? It's only there. He was embarrassed by it.
There was the moment on the sideline where Olivier Giroud is backing his bib down and he's so pissed off at being taken off. But I think the way the game panned out then, from that point on, vindicated what Didier Deschamps did. He made the changes when he had to. I mean, they came back into the game, albeit it took until, as you said, the 80th minute to do it.
The kids are okay as well.
Colin Moani played brilliantly. Turan was very good when he came on. Although he got a verbal lashing off Deschamps at the end of normal time. Did you see that?
It was very aggressive.
He laid into him.
Very aggressive.
I don't know if it was for the dive. I haven't found out what it was for, but he absolutely laid. I think it was something more tactical than the dive. don't think he would have minded a dive, would he? Because there was a chance he would have got a penalty.
I don't know.
I think it was more tactical.
Kingsley Coman, very effective off the bench as well.
Yeah, they're going to be all right, aren't they?
That's the thing. When I was thinking that at the end, I was like, sure, Mbappe turns 24 tomorrow. So like this crowd can go for another couple of World Cups.
Yeah.
Whereas it did feel like it just felt like Argentina's time, but I was still so shocked by the first 80 minutes.
The French
display.
Yeah.
And I did think, look, this is reminiscent of Brazil in the 1998 final, like that there's something going on.
Something off here.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, they must really be ill. This is like Spurs last day 2006 food poisoning stuff, but like no, Deschamps came out afterwards and said the players who started were 100% fit, like no excuses. And Upamecano, who missed the semi-final through illness, like he came back in and was excellent.
And Konate was
and Rabiot was excellent. Sorry, Rabiot was good. Upamecano was excellent.
Konate was unlucky not to play because of his performance in the semi-final, but then I guess Upamecano he's their guy. He's always in the team. Felt so sorry for Coman and Tchouaméni.
Oof! I've got the L'Equipe
ratings.
Theo Hernandez. What do you think?
2.5.
3 out of 10. You've got it there, do you?
I guess
the 0.5s. This is the. We've got none of the 0.5s.
It's all whole numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, Mbappe, come on, keep me in suspense here.
Mbappe did not get 10 out of 10.
7.
7.
Let's see.
Is that your opinion or what you think?
What I think.
I'm sorry, I don't have them written down.
Okay. Well, we can ask the man himself, I'd say, when he comes on, but I would imagine
I saw
they would have given him. I'm talking L'Equipe standards. They probably would have given him 7.
Yeah, fair.
Not
fair.
I'm not. Listen.
You'd have given them 7.
No, I would have given him
not rated. Not on long enough to be rated. Giroud and Dembele. Normally it's a sub.
I was going to ask you about.
Sorry,
that,
Kylian Mbappe scores a hat trick in a World Cup final, and you'd give him 8 out of 10.
I'm going by his own standards.
What are you taking the 2 off for?
His first 18 minutes.
He
had 24 touches.
Yeah, but is a game not on the? Is there not more weight given to those moments that matter?
He is
those last 10 minutes, the extra time, the penalty shootout.
I'm rating him by his own ability. Like he's as in a victim of his own success. I just thought, look how amazing you are from the 80s.
You're rating him as if you're blind.
You absolutely destroyed the opposition when you wanted to. But where were you for the first 80 minutes?
Kylian,
he was incredible.
He scored a hat trick in the World Cup final.
I think Mbappe is unbelievable. But I was like, where were you for the first 80 minutes? Why couldn't you do this?
I think if
you want to be the absolute best of the best of the best, that's what you have to do. And for 80 minutes, I was like, this guy, Damien Duff is right. This guy can't lace Messi's boots. And then from the 80 minute onwards, he was like, wow, the penalty, well struck,
that's what matters.
went in.
Yeah.
And then he nearly won it for them at the end.
The volley was ridiculous. We're forgetting about the goal from play as well.
Yeah, I thought Martinez could have saved it, but it was a great volley. It was a very good volley.
What has Kylian Mbappe done to you, Colin?
No, I'm his biggest fan. I would say, why can't you do it more? I would have high standards for him because he has something that no other forward has, and I would like the most talented forward of our generation to showcase that more often. That's all I'm asking from him.
Ger, what are you giving out of 10 for Mbappe?
You got to. I mean, L'Equipe give him a 9, which means it's 10 for everybody else.
Wow,
right?
did
It's
they?
like,
okay, fair enough.
Sorry, he got. It
is fair. It is.
Still think 8.
Messi got an 8. Di Maria got an 8.
Messi got an 8.
Yeah.
I thought Di Maria was the best player on the pitch from when he was on the pitch. 63 minutes.
I still think. I still think Di Maria. Like, I'm amazed he scored the goal. Amazed that he didn't somehow manage to.
He had a right footer that
hit the corner flag.
I thought he was really good when he was on. Really, really good.
I was always.
The only moment of the day where I wanted Argentina to lose was when Mbappe, when the penalty at the end of extra time is conceded and then it's scored and Di Maria is shown in the dugout crying, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeding off this. I got a strange sense of joy out of watching Di Maria cry. I felt sorry I felt bad about it, but one opinion that I saw lads made about France was that they were on the easy side of the draw and that they were eventually found out. I mean, because they didn't really impress, akin to 2018 throughout the tournament massively. They weren't a standout performer. You wouldn't have said, oh, this is the team. It wasn't like Spain in the group stages where we were like, Jesus, this could be brilliant. But look.
All right, we've got like 2 minutes left.
Okay, we'll rifle on to the red. We'll start on, what are we starting on? Qatar. I mean, we can't forget about the fact that this World Cup was a World Cup in a place at a time where we all felt a little bit bad about it. Did the sports washing work? Absolutely. Did we talk about it much over the last few weeks? Not really. And then, of course, Messi was wearing the bisht, the the cape, which I thought was a bit weird. Look, I know it's customary over there, but I thought for the photographs, I mean, it just looked
pretty quick.
It looked a little bit strange, I thought, didn't it? I mean,
yeah.
It made Messi stand out from everyone else, I suppose, which I guess is the point.
Not really.
No, it's not.
No, and anyway, it's not. It's funny. It's not the picture that's used on the back of the pages, and so I think we should move on.
The moment he kisses the trophy.
Yeah, the moment he kisses the trophy. But also, like, these are all the English papers, and it's the same. You can be sure in Argentina, and it's the same in France, and it's the same in every sports paper. So the Bish does not make the papers. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, it was a strange one. And then Gianni Infantino kind of mentioned it, trying to edge his way into the photographs. What looked like really directing Messi towards, okay, go over there to the middle of your teammates, as if he's never lifted a trophy in his lifetime before. Oh, you don't know what to do. I'll be here with you. Do you want me to go over with you and help you lift it? Do you want me to stand there and hold your hand and be in all the photographs front and centre? So Infantino has kind of stunk the place out throughout the World Cup, especially when he pops on TV, 60 seconds to 90 seconds into every single match. So we can't forget the darkness behind this whole World Cup, and I don't think people will. I don't know if the sports washing worked. It worked in the sense that we weren't talking about anything but the football, but I think in terms of wanting to make people go to Qatar, I don't know if Qatari tourism will benefit massively from it.
Not sure it's about tourism. Is it not more about being able to buy and sell fighter jets and transfer billions as opposed to the thousands that they're going to make from tourists?
Yeah, it's quite probable that that's what they wanted. But yeah, it just leaves a bad taste. And I think now that the World Cup's over, we'll probably look back on it more with a little sense of what the hell was that all about.
What else in red?
Yeah, the other piece in red this morning in the performance rankings is the EPCR, because Ulster Rugby, their game against La Rochelle, well, I mean, Kingspan Stadium in Belfast at the weekend was ready for a match. That's according to Dan McFarland. The bottom line was, according to them, the decision was wrong. The game could have been played at Ravenhill. Dan McFarland said, we've got to remember, I've been involved in European rugby for more than 20 years. So he says the referee, Luke Pearce, inspected Kingspan at 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon. He's believed to have found 60% of it was unplayable due to the sub-zero temperatures that gripped the island all week. And he said it was worth waiting until the next morning, Saturday morning, to find out for sure. And they said they couldn't rely on weather forecasting because they had to make the decision early. Ulster fuming, of course. They end up losing the game. Brilliant comeback, but end up losing by 7 points, 36-29. Toronto O'Gara's La Rochelle, they pick up the 2 losing bonus points, having trailed 29-0 at the interval as well. But yeah, the counter-argument is the TV broadcasters and the media and people who needed to get to the game needed a bit of time to prep and get down from Belfast to Dublin and set up and all that crack. Supporters, of course, need that as well. The Ulster fans didn't get to see it. It felt like a COVID match, no atmosphere, no crowd, no fans. And I know there's security issues there as well. But it just seemed to be missing the sense of occasion. Did it affect the result? Probably. Look, Ulster came back to within 7 points. Could they have won that game in Belfast with a bit of an atmosphere?
Interesting, in the Irish Times today, they're actually saying that Ulster have questions to answer here, that they are the ones who could have made the decision earlier in the week, that there were other matches similarly affected by the weather, and so them complaining is a little bit rich. Now, I don't know what the truth of that is, but certainly there's going to have to be a proper investigation into what happened and why it happened, and like the rest of the competition, bit of a shambolic weekend when you consider that Gloucester are able to send their second team over to Dublin, and that's a complete no contest, and it looks like there might be another no contest in the third round. So what was once a brilliant, absolutely amazing competition is now suddenly struggling for life, notwithstanding the incredible scenes at the end of the game where Munster got to Franklin's Gardens, and again, a little bit lucky with some refereeing decisions, but they made their own luck in other ways. So we'll talk about that a bit more with Quinny later on, but bit of a shambolic weekend, all told.
Yeah, decision making, I think, should be in the red here by everyone involved.
That was your Gillette Labs Performance Rankings.
OTB AM's Performance Rankings with Gillette.